Vanessa. So nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you virtually as well.
Absolutely. What do you have behind you there? You have a whole backdrop. How
I
professional.
know. I mean, I've always had it since I was like really little, so it's just kind of like I've become a little backdrop for like my videos and for Instagram, I guess.
Brilliant idea. I love it. Brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Where are you? Are you in London?
Yes, we're based in South London.
South London. Okay, great. So we've got people watching here from the UK, from Italy. We've got people tuning in from Los Angeles, just waking up. And we're really happy to have you on the show. We're
Oh,
really,
thank you.
yeah, we're really inspired by all the work that you do, especially at such a young age, wanting to help others and inspire them to achieve their goals and their dreams. I'm very interested in why it was that you wanted to become a motivational speaker.
So it all started when I attended an inspirational seminar, and one of the speakers were there was like, Vanessa, you know what? You should come on stage with me. Just speak to the audience. And to be honest, because when I started it when I was 9 years old, so 4 years ago, so when I was 9, my confidence definitely wasn't where it is now. So I was quite introverted. I mean, I still am, but I was very introverted, very shy. I mean, back then I would never speak up on a stage. That would never be something I'd want to do. But obviously now I love the atmosphere. So the first initial reaction for me was, I really do not want to go on stage because I wasn't prepared. I was just completely nervous. But then my mum gave me those encouraging words and was like, Vanessa, this is a great opportunity. So I think you should just go on stage. Nobody's asking you to do like a 20-minute presentation. Just go on stage, say some words to the audience, and then you can come back off. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll do it because I just don't want to disappoint the speaker. So and I was just telling the audience, believe in yourself, love yourself, and just saying those type of things. And then when I came off stage, everybody was like, that was actually really good. You really helped me. And I was like, how on earth did I help you in any sort of way? But then I kind of had to realize for myself that doing speaking and speaking on stage and also being able to help people at the same time and travel around the world, that was something that I definitely wanted to do. So I just kind of realized this is the perfect thing for me. I've kind of found my purpose. Then since then, I just kind of been my social media platforms, and then that's how Inspiring Vanessa came along.
Fantastic. Wow. So you actually started this at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually found your purpose at 9 years old, which is great because a lot of people are not necessarily on purpose in life. They don't know what they want to do. They often choose their subjects at school not really knowing what they want to do. So it's really amazing that you were certain enough and you had a good enough understanding of yourself to be able to know, yes, at 9 years old,
you.
What I want to do. So congratulations to you. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So now all you have to do is just keep going along that path, right? It's not like you're going to go like this in your life. You already know, boom, I'm going there. And you're already an author. You obviously do some modeling and you're already an author, which is incredible too. What inspired you to write a book?
I mean, it was just kind of having something out there for like my fans or followers to get something out of like what I do in a way. So initially my first book was meant to be a quote book because I was writing down like 30 quotes and we just didn't know how we wanted the book to look like exactly. So while we were just thinking about that, my mum was like, you know what? While we're thinking about making a quote book, why don't you write a different book that we can publish before that one? So I was like, that's a good idea, but what am I going to do it about? So she was like, why don't you do it about speaking because you're good at it, and not only has it like you can share like your tips, but you can also show like how it grew your confidence. And I was like, that is a great idea. So the book is not only just about like speaking and how to be confident on stage, but it's also about just growing your inner confidence and just learning to love yourself and just kind of be aligned with your purpose in a way. So that's kind of how the book came along. I just wanted to have something up that would help young people to obviously grow their confidence.
Yeah, and I was going to say actually, you talked about the fact when you first got on stage at 9 years old that you didn't have much confidence.
No.
Obviously, you have a lot more confidence now, and confidence is such a big thing, especially when even on a live interview, when you have a camera pointed in front of you, you're suddenly put out to all these people who you may or may not know. give us some tips on improving your confidence. How did you do it between 9 and you're 13 now? How did you really improve your confidence?
I mean, I think speaking is like a massive thing that has definitely helped me with my confidence, I would say. It kind of grew without me even like purposely wanting it to grow. Obviously, I'm thankful that it did. But I'll say my main tip for growing your confidence would have to be like, know why you want to grow your confidence. Because if you don't really have a purpose behind it, then there's nothing to really fight for, to work towards. And also to focus on your body language. Because like once you start to like stand tall or have your head up high or speak a certain way or sit a certain way, then you will start to feel more confident, and then other people will kind of get that that impression of you basically, because obviously body language speaks much louder than words. So just having your body language like a confident person will start to make you feel more confident as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. And coming up in the comments here, we see you've got somebody who's very helpful sending out your website here. So you can go to inspiringvanessa.com and you can order her book.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. Excellent. That's brilliant. There was another question that came up here from Raven, who's another one of our next generation role models. She said, why and how did you start on your journey, Vanessa?
Well, as I said before, it's just kind of like the realization that doing speaking, because I was really like a chatterbox already, because you know, like introverts, like around people that you don't know, it's kind of like you're a bit shy, you don't really want to open up, I would say. But then if you're around people you know, you're like really outgoing and bubbly. That's the kind of person I am. So I'm like an outgoing introvert. So the minute I like get to know you properly, like we'll be like best friends basically. So I think it kind of started when I had to realize that when I love to talk and I can also speak on stage, and I had to realize that I have to grow my confidence as well. If that purpose was to help people and I wanted to help people, then that's why I kind of wanted to do it, and that's what made me really determined to do what I do.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's talk a little bit about helping others, your platform. What is the main reason you built your social media platform? What do you intend to use it for to inspire others?
I mean, I would say the first thing that, or the first reason why I wanted to like create my channel or like Instagram was basically because I think at a point every kid like in this generation has wanted to have a YouTube channel for whatever reason it is. So when I kind of came across the idea that if my mum allowed me to, I could make a YouTube channel and become a YouTuber. That was something I definitely wanted to do. So I asked my mum and I was like, Mum, can I please have a YouTube channel? Can I create a YouTube channel? And she was like, as long as I'm there supervising it, then yes, you can. So that's how it kind of started to come together, I would say. But otherwise, using like videos and content, not just to inspire others, but also to just entertain them. So my channel isn't really like a specific niche. It's like different types of videos. So anybody who goes on there will either be entertained, they'll find something that they want to watch. So there's like videos for younger audiences, like toy reviews or vlogs, to like toy launches. But then for like older generations, or for like people who are around my age, it can be like school tips or tips about how to like become friends with people, whatever it is that people just will relate to. So I think just trying to create content for anybody who's watching as well, who wants to kind of become more close with like their fans or their followers, I would say just try and create content that you know is going to relate to them, that's just going to like give them some kind of positive energy.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and then someone's asking here, who's your biggest inspiration? That's
my biggest inspiration would have to be my mum, just because she's been there always supporting me. I mean, she's definitely my #1 fan. That's definitely for certain. And also I would say like my role models would be like Ellen DeGeneres. She's an so hopefully that will happen in the future. And I also love Zendaya because she's an amazing actress, and she's just always been somebody who just in the public eye that's always like motivated me.
I love Zendaya too. I think she's amazing. Good. Okay, so let's talk about social media. How has that therefore impacted your career?
I would have to say it's impacted my career because I mean it's like in the 21st century everything is through social media nowadays, isn't it? So if you're not really on social media, then there's no other way for you to kind of grow your platform and grow your career. So when I had my Instagram account and it started to get really big, that way I could kind of reach out to more people, get more gigs for events. So it's kind of like wherever people come across, it's kind of like you start from social media and then you can kind of branch out to actually meeting people or attending the events that I'm going to be speaking at. But otherwise, I feel like social media has pros and cons, just like everything else does. Because, I mean, when I was, I think, 10, I was cyberbullied by somebody at my school. So that was like a bad experience for me from social media, but I still carried on. Obviously, I started to see the positive things from it as well. So I think it's impacted, like, my personal life and also just, like, my career in positive and negative ways.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get on to bullying a bit later. Let's talk a little bit about other kids who are starting out, who want to be motivational speakers or perhaps want to have a book. What tips would you have for them?
I would say never give up, and also always think about like your purpose and your why. I always ask people, why do you want to do what you're doing? Why do you want to do it? Because if you've got no purpose into what you're doing, then you're not going to be determined, you're not going to be hardworking. You always need to have something to work towards. You always need to have a goal. So always make sure that you're never going to give up, because people aren't always going to support you, because I've learned that for sure. I mean, I think everybody has at one point whether they want to do something and people are just going to tell them straight up that they do not support you, or they just don't think what you're doing is right for you, or that you've changed in a bad way. But never think that somebody else's words are going to affect you, because unless you give them the power to affect you, basically. So just always think about, people aren't always going to support you, but as long as you have the people who will support you close to you and that you never give up, you will get successful and you will get far and get to your dream.
Wow, so inspiring right there.
Thank you.
Knowledge all right there in a few sentences, and you're very wise. That's
Thank you.
I'm really glad that you're talking about this and that we're approaching these subjects on this chat, because it's a really important issue. Because there is a lot of negativity around the industry, and people do get pushed off their dreams. They do forget what it is that they thought they could do. They get carried away, or somehow they get lost, or they go on a road that's a little bit like this, or their whole life is a roller coaster, and they have so many good days and so many bad days that they end up just going around in circles and not really getting anywhere. So tell me about, when it comes to negativity, how specifically do you deal with that?
I mean, it's a hard and tricky question to answer, in my opinion, because it's kind of, everybody deals with negativity in their own ways. Some ways are like really good ways, and some ways people just let it get to them. So I would say whenever I get like negativity on, like, I don't know, my YouTube channel, maybe on a post, or maybe just from like people who I thought were my friends but aren't really my friends, if you can say it like that. I mean, just kind of have to think about everybody changes, and just kind of have to accept that. So I think acceptance is a really big thing on people's journeys, because you need to accept that people are going to come and go. You need to accept that people are going to change, and that means their perspective of you is going to change, and their goals are going to change, as well as you're changing as well. So I think just having to accept the negativity, but not let it hurt you in the way that's going to make you stop doing what you love.
Excellent. Yeah, we're all on a journey here, and we're all changing. Well, let's hope we are changing, because
Changing for the better.
Yeah, we want to move forwards. We don't want to go back, but forwards requires change. You're not going to get anywhere by just staying still, right?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about, we've talked about goals, we've talked about life purpose. You know that you're on your purpose, and which is very exciting. You were very sure of that at 9 years old. In terms of your career and where you're going, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I would say I see myself in 10 years like doing TV presenting, hopefully like in the acting industry. I mean, it's one of my big dreams to be in like a Netflix series or to be in a movie. So like during like quarantine, or this time that we had like staying at home, I've had a couple of like online auditions, like self-tapes and things like that. So hopefully we'll be hearing back from those soon. But I would say just still like traveling around the world, helping people, speaking at events with hopefully bigger audiences. So the biggest audience was spoken in front of, I think, is 2,000 people. But obviously I'd like to go bigger because the more people like you get to impact, obviously. So I feel like doing like more professional TV presenting or acting, and also just, you know, still doing speaking basically, and still having that content that's going to motivate people.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Thank you.
incredible. And I want to know, obviously, you're a leader. You're on stage, people are watching you, you're 13 years old, you're a role model, you're a leader. Tell me what being a role model and a leader means to you.
I mean, when I first started, there wasn't any speaker that I saw from the UK who perhaps looked like me or who was the same age as me. So I thought to myself, if somebody who's the same age as me when I was 9 years old, who wants to do speaking and has come across this, but they have no one to look up to, I want to be that person for them. So I think being a role model is a massive responsibility for anybody who has or who is aware that young people are looking up to them. So it's a big responsibility, but as long as you're being true to your followers and to yourself, then being a role model is like the best thing ever.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for setting a good example.
Thank you.
That's the most important thing, to lead by example. That's really, really important, and you're doing that, and we can see that by your profile and just by who you are to be interviewed as well. Yeah, you're fantastic. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about charity work and who you support and what charities you love. And just talk to me a bit about your work.
I think my favourite charities would have to be, well, the first one is called H Giving, and it's basically an orphanage in Kenya. So I actually went there, I believe, like 3 years ago. And I went to the orphanage in Kenya, and it was an amazing experience because it gave me a whole different perspective on how you see the world and how much we need to appreciate the things that we have. So I would definitely say H Giving is an amazing charity. And also it's another charity called the Young Urban Arts Foundation. I've actually been doing like videos for them over this time that we had to kind of give some positive videos out there for the young people who kind of follow them as well. So I mean, those two charities definitely have great meanings behind them and great purposes, and they're making a massive impact. So those are probably like my two favorite charities, but otherwise there's so many charities out there who are doing amazing things.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course you have to choose the charity that's right for you and the one that you're most passionate about, the cause that you like the most, and work with the people that you love. That's really important with charities.
Yes.
And I've learned that as well. It's that the people behind the charity, that's really important too, and who they are and how they organize themselves is super important. Good. Okay, so for those of you who are on with us, we would love you to ask, to put some questions either in the comments or use the question tool at the bottom. Anything that you want to ask Vanessa, she's going to answer some of your questions now. Let's see whether we have anyone coming up with anything. And while we're waiting for some people to ask you some questions, Vanessa, please let us know about what you're up to next and where people can find you if they want to follow you or if they want to order your book.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't really any events coming up soon because obviously we have to stay at home. So all the venues have been closed. I think events are going to be like postponed to like more at the end of the year, unfortunately. But at least they're still going to be going on, so the impact is still going to be there. But mainly like stuff that's kind of going on more from the inside and at home. I'm actually having a podcast, so that's called the Inspiring Vanessa Show. And we're just kind of doing more interviews on there so people can like stay tuned for more content to come up on the podcast as well. And you can find me on all social medias. It's just at Inspiring Vanessa, and on YouTube as well. And those kind of like the main things. I'll say Instagram, YouTube, and maybe TikTok as well.
Oh, fantastic. So you also do TikTok. A lot of people do TikTok as well. So yeah, I got to learn to do some TikTok dances myself. That's on the...
I mean, I think it's like the biggest new social media platform in a way. I mean, so much of the young generation is just on that app. And to be honest, it is very addictive, but it still has a good meaning behind it. And you can be on it for hours if your parents let you.
Though. It's a time suck. I worry about that. Yeah, I worry about that time suck situation with that TikTok. Before you know it, it's like half an hour's gone. You're like, oh my God. All right, well, good. So are you also doing lives with friends?
We're trying to do more Instagram lives because people have been asking for them. So I did an Instagram live, I believe yesterday, in the morning with one of my friends. She's from Australia. Her name is Jada. So we were doing like a little interview with her about kind of like her modelling career. And then I also did an interview, I believe, the week before with one of our really good friends. Her name is Fiona Neer and John, and she is the CEO or the founder of Platform Inspires. They're just trying to do more interviews, obviously, on Instagram as well. Otherwise, I have a lot of interviews on my YouTube channel for anybody to watch.
Well, that's brilliant. We've got loads of people on here who absolutely love you. They're saying, oh, she's so inspirational. They're saying hi to you.
Thank you.
Vanessa. We've got all sorts of great comments. We've got a really good question here from Bruna. She said, what do you love much in a model? Do you mean a role model, Bruna? What do you love much in a model? I think you mean a role model. Can you give me advice? Can you give someone advice on, I think she means role model, how to be a role model?
I mean, how to be a role model, just be like a genuine person and have a good meaning behind what you do. So let's say when you do modelling, why do you want to do modelling? If you want to inspire more young people to be confident on the runway or do modelling, or to feel confident and gorgeous in different clothing brands, or feel handsome in different clothing brands, then you are going to become a role model. And I don't think you purposely become a role model. It's not an intention. People just start to look up to you when you are true to yourself. So it's just something that happens. So as long as you're doing something that's good for a good reason, and you're just being a genuine, kind person, which I know you are, then people will genuinely start to look up to you. And I think people already do anyways.
There you go, Bruno. Great answer to your question. That's fabulous. Okay, well, we're so happy to have you on the show, Vanessa. You've inspired...
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. You've inspired me, and you're obviously inspiring others. So don't stop. Keep going. And you are a next generation role model, and we love you. All right, so I'll say goodbye for now, and please go on Vanessa's website, follow her on Instagram, and let's all join in the community here on Next Generation Role Model.
All right, it was lovely to speak to you.
Nice
Bye.
to meet you. Bye.